Hello everyone and welcome into the Lore Council. This is Cade, and nearly a year ago, in May of 2020, I made a video called Gatekeeping in Star Wars. And since then, I have realized that that video sucks. Not the content per se, but rather the audio quality. At the time, I didn't have a very good mic, and I believe I recorded that on my headphones mic that was connected to my headphones. As well as now that since we have expanded past just being a Star Wars channel, I figure it would be very apt to redo the video. The old one will be kept up just for archiving purposes, but consider this the new definitive video. So what exactly is gatekeeping? Well, gatekeeping is when someone takes it upon themselves to decide who does or does not have access to a community. And I'm obviously putting this more specifically in the frames of a fandom, as opposed to something more important. So, what does this have to do with anything? Is it really a problem? Well, yes, it is. Go on any online forum, Reddit, YouTube, forums, anything like that, and you are going to find people who, just for the sake of this little experiment, we'll say, are Star Wars fans. Someone new is trying to get into Star Wars, or someone who, in the example of Star Wars, has just seen the movies. And let's say they want to get into the expanded universe. You would have someone tell them, no, you aren't a fan enough of Star Wars to like this. You don't even know who XYZ obscure character is. Now, this is just, one, very rude and just not nice, and I just try to be as nice of a person as possible, so this just seems very antithetical to human behavior for me. Second of all, it gives everyone in your fandom, however niche or big it may be, a very, very bad look. Do you remember a few years ago when everyone thought that Legends fans or people who don't like the sequels were all assholes? Well, gatekeeping and stuff like this is why. Because the loudest person in your community is going to be the person that is seen. Keith and I spoke about this in our big State of Star Wars 2021 video, how it makes, specifically in this example, Legends fans look very, very bad to the public and to other people. The loudest among us are sometimes the people who speak for us. Do you really want the loudest people to be the people who are saying, if you like the sequels, you're not a real Star Wars fan. If you like the new canon, you're not a Star Wars fan. And of course, this is just for Star Wars. You could take it and transplant it to anything. Star Trek. You're a fan of the new Star Trek movies, you're not a Star Wars fan. You're a fan of the old Star Wars movies, well, those are old and obsolete. You're not a real Star Trek fan. Oh, you played D&D 3rd edition, you're not a real fan. That's not the current thing that is going on. Do you not see how ridiculous gatekeeping is just from these small little examples, and how much it's going to actually hurt your fan community more than anything else? Now, I myself have been very lucky. I've never been the victim of gatekeeping, at least to any big extent that ever turned me away from anything or stopped me from liking something. Yeah, I've been told by people, oh, if you don't like the sequels, you're not really a Star Wars fan. You're a Legends fan. But no, I am a Star Wars fan. It's just I have a preference of what timeline I like. And at the end of the day, that's it. I like playing D&D, and the only thing I have experience with is 5th edition. If someone told me that 3rd edition is the best and definitive edition, and if you're playing it, you're not a real fan, would I get discouraged? No, because I'm already fairly entrenched in the fandom, in the community, in what I like. But where it becomes a problem is with people who are trying to get into this thing. Imagine you have never read a Star Wars novel, never read a Star Wars comic, and we're going back to Star Wars because it's the easiest example for me, because one, the channel used to be about Star Wars, but two, Star Wars is my favorite franchise. So, if I go back in time and I imagine I had only seen up to then the prequels, actually up to then only episode 1, and I went to pick up a Legends book off the library shelf, an expanded universe book, the Junior Jedi Knights Golden Globe, and someone told me, and obviously it would be very different because the internet wasn't really as big of a thing back then, but someone told me, no, you can't read that. You're not a big enough fan. You haven't read this, and this. I would be very discouraged. And I think the people who would be more discouraged in the events of gatekeeping our younger would-be fans, because you're going to have people saying, you're not a real fan because you weren't even around when these movies came out, and it's going to drive them away. And when it comes to more niche things, especially like the expanded universe, where we're not getting content anymore, then we need to come together as a community and allow new people in. It shouldn't matter if you like the sequels, if you like the expanded universe, if you like the Old Republic, if you like post-Return of the Jedi. As Star Wars fans, we need to come together. And by no means am I saying that all Star Wars fans are toxic, all Legends fans are toxic. No, I'm saying there is a very loud minority of people who don't want people to come into this community. And again, I'm using Star Wars as an example because it's my biggest franchise that I really like, and I really want more people to be into it. I don't care if they like the new canon, if they like the sequels, if they like the prequels, if they like the original trilogy, if they like Clone Wars, if they like Rebels, if they like the Republic comics, if they like Darth Plagueis. I don't care. And that goes for anything. You know, you could bring up Halo, for example. I love Halo. It's one of my favorite game franchises. But if I were to go around and say, if you like Halo 4 and 5, you're not a real Halo fan, I would look like an asshole. And people wouldn't want to talk to me. And yeah, I might discourage from playing things I don't like because I'll be upfront. I don't like Halo 4 and 5. But I'm not the ultimate authority. I am not a person in charge of anything. If you want to like what you like, nobody should stop you. If you want to like something, do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't, because you're only here for so many years. Enjoy what you like. And if you're someone who thinks someone needs to have criteria to be a fan, turn around and look at yourself. At one point, you had no knowledge of the franchise that you like. You had nothing to go off of. And guess what? You ended up getting into it, and now you're trying to keep people away from it. That's just a little bit stupid in my head. And is this video a little bit preachy? Maybe, yeah. But I don't really care. I'm sick of seeing people treat other people so poorly online over small, trivial things, like how much they know about a franchise, how much they know about Star Wars, about Halo, about Dungeons and Dragons, Dragon Age, anything. It's just not fun. So if you're watching this, just take a step back, and before you criticize someone or say, well, this actual property isn't canon because I don't like it, just remember, everyone has their own preferences, and you're not the Galactus of opinions. Your opinion is no more valid than anyone else's. And, you know, if you don't like hearing this, then guess what? You're probably just part of the problem. And I'll say, I used to gatekeep. I used to tell people who were trying to get into Star Wars, no, if you like canon, you're not even a real fan. You know, canon sucks. I hate it. But guess what? I grew up, and so should you. So, if you take offense to this, leave me a comment down below. My Twitter's right in the description of this video. If you want to call me whatever you want, you know, go ahead. It's water off my back, and I really don't care. But what I would ask you is, at least be nice to people who are trying to get into franchises that you like. So if you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you have, then feel free to like this video. Also, we're trying to grow the channel, so a subscribe also helps us go a long way. And, like I said, my Twitter is in the description if you feel the need to have any discussions about anything, positive or negative. So, with that, this is Cade from the Lore Council, signing off.